Alright, so today I'm doing like kind of weird thing. I'm gonna just spin a wheel, see what I'm gonna design. So for this one, I already recorded this obviously, but I'm gonna end up doing a dress, a medieval dress that's gonna be red. And it's gonna be like, it has little vines on it, you'll see soon. And so anyways, this is me starting to design it. I'm gonna outline it. Whenever I get to the point where I use my smudge tool, if you look on the top right side, it'll show the icon for like the smudge tool, and most other programs, I mean not all programs have it that way, but most will have either that exact icon or something similar, so I was trying to help you guys out with that. So in this speed design, I'm doing like, I have a see-through part. I don't focus on it too much though. And like the dress shading I focus more on, especially the top part. I'm not in love with the dress shading, but if you like it, then I hope this helps you. I know how to shade skirts well, but this top part I was trying to go in detail in, and it did not work how I thought it would, so I'm sorry in advance. Alright, so now I'm just like kind of aligning everything. For all of this, I'm literally just copying and pasting. I'm not like using any special tool. I don't really use anything but the smudge tool in this lesson. Also, I'm so sorry, this part got glitchy for some reason. I don't know why, but it'll be fixed in a minute or two. It should be fixed right about now. Maybe? Nope. Alright, I'm sorry about that. I don't really know how to fix that, so I guess it just, whenever I was recording it, either I stopped or it stopped or something stopped. But now it should be back to normal for the rest of the video. I'm just kind of making like the little vines that you might have seen on the thing, and I'm hoping that this is a better quality video because I know normally mine's really bad, and the audio is probably not super great right now either. I'm just going in and I'm making these little vines. I like hand drawing everything that I make, just because I feel like it adds some character, and like I can easily identify it as something that I make if I made it myself, versus like just kind of copying and pasting off the image. Which Photo Bash designers have such pretty stuff. It's just not really my style. So right here I'm kind of combining the vines, like as you can tell in like the image, the vines kind of combine in the top. I'm gonna have the image showing most of the video, just so you're aware. I'm using like this little tool. It's only for Metabating Pro, but normally I'll just put my images like on the actual template on a separate layer. This is just a little bit easier for me right now. Make sure that whenever you're designing that you layer everything, because you can always combine layers, but what you can't do is uncombine them. So if you layered something on one thing and then you realize later on when you're shading, it'll be very painful. Also, I did change the vines to black because I felt like the white looked a little bit too bright on the dark red, so I just kind of turned it into black. So I'm going to be using like the little vines as a guideline as to like where the waist should start, which is why I just moved it down a little bit so I know how to shade better. For me, it's always been difficult to shade without like a waistline on a skirt or a dress, because I feel like it's more difficult to shade a dress just going from one thing to the next. I mean, I've done it before, it's just a little bit difficult. Alright, so now I'm going in. I don't know if you can see too well, but it has like a little where it's like crossed over in the front. So I'm kind of trying to shade that. It turns out, I don't know how it turns out, okay? Like, I do, but it's questionable. Like, I like it, but I also hate it. So I'm just kind of going in and I'm like drawing everything out. You know, fun stuff. Making sure everything's aligned, all that good stuff. So then I'm just gonna like go in. Oh, also whenever I align stuff from like the side to the back, I normally just like count the pixels from the green line or the red line to the thing, and then I just count it back over. It's just easier for me, at least. Alright, so now I'm just kind of going in and I'm shading, so it kind of looks like it's like being pulled in one direction, if that makes sense. So I did use 2 different shading techniques on this. One of these I did my normal way. The other one, I just like put the shading and the highlight on the same layer. Please let me know which one you prefer, because I don't know, man. I think they both look kind of dumb, but I like the shading. I feel like I like the shading on the sleeve, but then it kind of gets like really muddy really fast, and I think it might have been because I used too big of a smudge tool, but that's okay. So whenever you're using the smudge tool, and it did just pop up on the top right, I don't know if you saw that, you can replay it otherwise, but the smudge tool is great as long as you know what size to use. Most programs, I don't know if all do, but the vast majority have a smudge tool. I know for Paint.net, it doesn't come with a smudge tool, but you can like get a extension for it that gives you a smudge tool. Alright, so now I'm just kind of fading out the lines. It does look a little bit questionable. I'm going to add some highlights, and these are going to be like really bright highlights. Like really, really bright. And I'm just going to change the opacity on it. So opacity is basically just like how see-through something is. I don't know if that's something that people know or not. I think that is. But yeah, opacity is just like how bright something is, or not bright, see-through, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the bright red. So, as you can like see right now on the like sleeve part of the dress, it kind of goes from like a solid color to a more transparent color. So that's why I did that on the sleeve. I might end up posting this, I don't know. Not the video, but like the dress on one of my accounts, I don't know. It's gonna kind of depend on if I end up liking it after a while, because right now I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm just going in and I'm smudging, smudge. I love smudging, it's so fun. In this video I didn't use the like box shading technique that I normally do, just because in all honesty, I don't know how to box shade something that is all together. Like, I feel like it just wouldn't make sense to box shade when it's all together, because it'll kind of like ruin the togetherness of it, if that makes sense. Like, in my mind, it's like one piece that just like got wrapped around, if that makes sense. Like, both of the ends are like tucked in underneath. That's how I see it, at least. I don't know if that's actually how it's supposed to be, but, and right now I'm just kind of looking to make sure everything's good. Now I'm going to go in with that darker color, and I'm just going to start shading the other parts. This is the one where I use different techniques for shading. I just kind of put the shading on, and then the highlight on in the same layer, and then smudged it out. Please let me know if you liked it or not. Also, please either DM me or comment or whatever you want to do and tell me what videos you want to see, because nobody's really giving me any ideas. So please give me ideas, because it would be very helpful. I don't know what you guys want to learn, and I'm here to help you guys learn, not to do whatever I want. I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not at the same time. So now I'm just going to go in like with like a little small brush and just kind of go in like all the corners where it's not darker, and then I'm just going to smudge it all out. Also, I'm so sorry for any of the background noise that you might hear. Listen, I'm on an iPad all the time, and I'm using headphones as my recording device. So you can imagine that that's not pleasant. Hopefully sometime over the summer I'm getting my laptop fixed, but you know how that goes. So because this is such like a bright color, I'm gonna like change the opacity once I'm all done shading it out. I feel like it looks a little bit weird, especially on that back. But it's okay. And now I'm going in on like the little pieces that aren't really wrapped around, they're just kind of like there. I'm just kind of making it like a brighter red there, because I feel like that seems appropriate. I don't know if it actually seems appropriate, but it does to me, so. Now I'm just kind of smudging out that dark layer that'll tell me where the waistline is, and then I'm going to start making the waistline. well, not the waistline, but like the skirt. So my first attempt at this, it's been a minute since I've done any dresses, so it didn't go too well, so I just redid it. So just like disregard this part. Thanks. It's just because I did the wrong, like, smudge brush, like, size for this, but I am using the smudge brush for this. It just didn't turn out as good as I had hoped. And I tried to go in with, like, the highlight to fix it. It didn't work. I was hoping it would. It didn't. Because normally highlights save, like, bad shading for me at least. Like, I can shade something really bad and just highlight it and it looks pretty again. It didn't work in this case. But I did try. So I'm gonna go in again. I'm just gonna delete those layers, and now I'm gonna just do basically that same technique, just with a smaller smudge brush. So I use like a size maybe 15 to 18 typically smudge brush and just smudge it all out. So it does look really dark right now, and it looks kind of weird, wonky. I swear it looks like a skirt. I don't know how it just does to me. I don't know if it looks like that to you guys too, but it reminds me of like a flowy skirt, if that makes sense. And that's kind of how I shade all my skirts. Well, not my like skirts, like my shorter skirts, that's not how I shade them. But this is how I shade my longer skirts. And now I'm just gonna do this transparent layer. I'm just gonna like shade normally, and then just like make it more transparent. Just gonna like change the opacity. And yeah, that's about all.